Hello there and welcome to another exciting Otaku Bandito episode. Originally this is going to be a review of two laptops, but I found out that the other laptop, which is the IBM ThinkPad, was broken. So if a computer, gaming console, or any electronic device is broken, then there's no point of reviewing it. So this review is going to focus on this laptop only, and let's review it. The iBook G3 Clamshell was made in 1999 and was produced alongside the PowerBook G3, which used the same processor. But unlike the PowerBook G3, the iBook G3 is mainly intended for schools and the consumer market, and it was never intended for the business market. This iBook G3 has one USB port, two Ethernet ports, a headphone jack, and a CD-ROM drive. But there's another model which has a DVD drive, which was a new thing at the time. And also, that model has wireless internet because you could get an optional wireless card, which was another new thing at the time. So 2 thumbs up for that model, but the one I have doesn't have the DVD-ROM drive. And also that model has a FireWire port. It's missing a piece of the Apple logo. You can see that there's supposed to be a piece there. It's missing, but it doesn't matter anyway, since you can get a replacement logo to cover that. Enough talk, let's review the laptop. Once you turn it on, it has the same chime used on the iMac G3. And it was also used on later Apple computers such as the newer iMac G4 and the iBook G3 Snow. Keep in mind, they were both released in the early 2000s. And it has macOS 9.0.2 installed on there, and it hasn't really changed much since System 7, but like the iMac G3, it can be upgraded to run macOS 10 Panther, and it can unofficially run macOS 10 Tiger by using X post facto. But I believe that the other model already has X post facto on there. Alright, so now that the computer has booted up, we can first try out Microsoft Word, which is a part of Microsoft Office for Mac. But the odd thing is that Microsoft Word is first available for Macintosh computers, and it was later available for Microsoft computers. But you learn new things every time, so history is history. I wrote down Otaku Bandito Show, which is the name of my show. No, I do not want to save it. Alright, what's next? Let's try out AppleWorks. AppleWorks was originally called ClarisWorks, and they had a long history of making software for Macintosh computers. But following the elimination of Apple's Claris subsidiary, ClarisWorks was renamed to AppleWorks. Let's try out the drawing program, or the painting program. And this is a lot like Microsoft Paint, where you have different options for colors, lines, shapes, and all that good stuff. I drew a basic thing on wheels and has a steering wheel and a seat, but probably in real life the seat would be too big and it would probably be hard to get in. No, I don't want to save it. Again, I do not want to save it. Alright, enough with the basic programs. Let's try out a game. And it is called Warcraft Orcs and Humans. For those of you who are unfamiliar, or are too young to remember what it is, Warcraft Orcs and Humans is the first game in the Warcraft franchise. And it was the Warcraft game that started it all. It was released in 1994 on MS-DOS, but it was released in 1996 for Macintosh. And this version I have right here is a Macintosh and CD-ROM. I mean Macintosh and MS-DOS CD-ROM. Maybe if I get a Power Macintosh 6100 compatible, I could try it out. Alright, so let's pop it in. Just try to ignore the shaking. There's the startup options. Here's the good old Blizzard Entertainment logo. It's still being used after all these years. In this game, you get an option to play as two different factions. The orcs and the humans, hence the name of the game. Both campaigns are similar except for minor differences. Let's play as the orcs. For each campaign, you get an intro with scrolling letters, and the first objective for each faction is to build 6 farms. And then you get a map of your current location. You start out with 3 warrior type guys and 1 farmer type guy, and each faction has a similar person. Like for example, the orcs have the peons, while the humans have the peasants. The orcs have the spearmen, and the humans have the archers. So there are 3 different types of people for each faction. You get the idea. You build farms to get more food for your guys. And build the barracks for your soldier. And later you can build the lumber mill for your projectile type guys. And you can chop trees and mine gold in order to stock up on resources. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to say about this game. So in conclusion, the iBook G3 is a great old laptop, and is a good start to your Apple computer collection. Other than the iMac G3, since you can get it for cheap. So if you want to start an Apple computer collection, I would recommend you to get this laptop or the iMac G3. And I will see you later.